Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Friday, so a ton of stuff. I've been exhausted from like just eBay, which is a good thing. It's just been like nonstop. All right, so we're just going to jump right into it. The first thing is this SETI, search for extraterrestrial intelligence. I can't say that word. I'm cooked. All right, this is a board game right here. This one's going to be incomplete. This is by the Czech company right here. They do a lot of good stuff. They're known for their like code names, board game, and among a bunch of other ones. A lot of people like this particular game. I'm not into like sci-fi that much, so and this is also incomplete, and this is not a game that like Anetta would play with. So I could play it solo, but I don't want to. But yeah, lots of different like little actions and planets and a bunch of different ways to make points and score it. Like I said, I've never played this one. I just seen this on like Board Game Geek. It's been on like people's radar for a while. So someone's getting this for $30 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right. Next up is going to be this right here. This is Operation Crusader. This is going to be one of those vintage board game, like military board games with a bunch of chit tokens. This one's actually missing the counters though. The box bottom part is also missing, but it has like all the maps and everything else that you need. So maybe they have a way to replace the counters, or maybe they just like spilled drinks on their old game, so they need all the rules and the maps and stuff. So they come with a lot of pieces. This ended up going for $18.89. All right, moving along, we got one of the Hololive. That's going to be, they are a Vocaloid. Sorry, I had to think there real quick. This is a relax time set that I got. Got a bunch of these. These are going to be like manga statues. This one's not too like scantily. This character is Minato Aqua. There you go. I don't know who this one is. I get it from the buddy of mine where I buy like manga, anime stuff, and statues, and sometimes video games, and sometimes board games. They'll get a bunch of stuff, and then they know I do eBay, so they'll reach out when they want to sell a bunch of stuff that they're done like collecting, and then they go ahead and get new stuff. They kind of like collecting a bunch of stuff. So this ended up going for $42. People like the stuff. Gen Z likes it. Millennial likes it. A lot of people like it, I guess. All right. Moving along, we have a lot of 3. Did I forget to grab this? I did not. Did I? I don't know. It's right here. I thought I forgot to grab this one. All right, a lot of 3 White Dwarf magazines for Warhammer, either 40K and also, I believe, Fantasy. These are going to be the modern ones. These are like numbers 452, 457, and 459. So I got a bunch of these for like 70 cents a piece, like a long time ago. It's like over a couple hundred. Listed them all. It's pretty easy to do. Sometimes these come with little decals, like little inserts to put on the miniatures. These ones don't have the decals. And I think the older ones are a lot more expensive than like the new ones. This ended up going for $9.33. All right. Next up is going to be one Warhammer Blood Bowl Fantasy. This is just going to be one of their like hit location dice right here. I've never played the Blood Bowl, but I remember buddies in high school played it. It's going to be a version of Warhammer where you are playing a sport game rather than just doing like a straight up battle. And there's also like different editions and versions of the Blood Bowl. So this one I think is like a vintage red die. This ended up going for the one die, $9.09. I was having an issue with some of my dice listing where people thought that they were getting like full-fledged sets. So I had to like potentially do some returns and stuff. But all right, that one I put that it was just one die, because I don't think you can put the word like saying one dice is die, but like die is kind of like, that's not, I don't think that's a word you can use on listings. I'll have to look later to see if people sell singular die as dice, like use the dice word or the die word. All right, I'm getting stuck in the weeds here. Move along, we have this Noble Siege board game. This one definitely caught my eye. It looks like some kind of old computer graphic or also photograph. I think someone like used photographs or something. So it looks like more of a custom board game. A lot of board games can just be someone wanted to do like a pet project, so they just went ahead and made a 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Maybe they did a Kickstarter. Maybe they just had the money at the time to produce a bunch before Kickstarter. So people like to collect all sorts of board games. I've never played this one. It doesn't even have a description of what it is in the back. This ended up going for $15 to repeat buyer. But like I said, people like to collect all sorts of board games. All right, it doesn't have to just be the popular ones. All right, moving along, we have this one's pretty cool. The person's going to like this one. Dice tray. This is a dice tray where people chuck dice into and then it stays on the table. A lot of people like throw dice and they drop all over the floor and stuff. There's also dice towers. If you find like solid ones, like good quality or like a good design, people will eventually pick them up. There's not like a specific particular company that does all of it well all the time. Like it's just kind of like some companies will be in miniatures, so they'll make a dice tower. Some companies will be doing board games and then they make a dice tray and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a pretty solid one. It's like an octagon shape here and it has like the green felt on the bottom, and it also has this felt here so it doesn't slide over the table. Yeah, they got this for $10. They're gonna like this one a lot. I think it looks way better than the in person than in the pictures. All right, moving along, we have a plushie. Plushies have been super popular for the holiday. They weren't popular for us last holiday. This is going to be a Build-A-Bear puppy. This is like, it looks like a golden retriever with his little red, not leash, but collar. Pretty good quality. It's very clean. Sold for $7.87. So got a bunch of plushies a long time ago when they were super cheap in 2020, 2021. And we've still been selling them since, just like a lot slower before. Now they've been selling a lot more. They're not like, I don't have like a passion for them. Annetta likes them. But like, yeah, we stopped picking them up at some point. I still have like 3 or 4 bags to still list. All right, next up is going to be the Pirc, P-I-R-C. I don't know, it's going to be a particular chess strategy or maybe a chess master. 1975. I got a bunch of these chess books. They were like strategy books. You could go ahead and read them, and they talk about specific strategies, or maybe, like I said, by a certain chess master. I thought they would do better at the time when I got them. I listed like 100 of them, and then I got like no sales for a couple months. So I was like, whatever, at least I tried it. But then they did start slowly selling over time. So maybe people want to learn like the history of a particular strategy. It looks like they look like fun things to read if you're into chess. This ended up going for $9.45. I got them really cheap. It was like a whole bin for like I said, like 100 of them for like $20 or something. So I know I've sold at least more than the $9.45 of it. All right, moving along, we have Operation Merker. I think these are just going to be Merker. There you go. Yeah. That's going to be one of those board games. This is going to be Heat of Battle. They do a bunch of like squad leader stuff. This is not complete, but this has an important part. This has the scenario cards. The scenario cards tell you like what troops come out, and they also on the back of it show you what map to use, so how to set up the board, because like you'll see me sell those different boards with numbers like 1 through, like they have like over 100 or something. And then there's just a bunch of different scenarios. It's mostly just scenarios. So I don't know if Heat of Battle, the HOB stuff, was official Advanced Squad Leader stuff. I just see people like purchase it when they're into Squad Leader, and it has stuff for Squad Leader. So I don't know like what the difference between Heat of Battle and the official Advanced Squad Leader stuff is. But I sold this for $41.99. So people do like it, and they do want to use the scenarios. There's probably a bunch of fan stuff too for Advanced Squad Leader. It's like an in-depth military game, tactics. They try to recreate different like battles and wars and stuff. People love it a lot. All right, moving along is going to be Goblinville Gazette, Arms and Arcana. This is going to be an RPG book. Did someone do a combo? I think it was, it was also a combo order with the next RPG book. This is just a little booklet that has a lot of little RPG stuff, a lot of cute little designs of art. So sometimes people just like to get these zines. They're like smaller to the ground RPG books. I love picking them up when I see them because I know someone's going to go ahead and appreciate the art like I am. I'm like, oh, that's a cute one, or that's a good aesthetics within the little booklet. So they got this. It's just going to talk about different weapons and spells. It just looks like that's the theme of that one with good art. Then we have Twin Crowns, Age of Exploration, some kind of like pirate-themed fantasy RPG. I have a lot of this particular book. It says D20 system down here, which means it uses the D20 system of Dungeons and Dragons. So you can just kind of use the Dungeons and Dragons rules with this. This is like a thicker one, so there's a lot to this. Like I said, I have like 5 or 6 of these listed. I don't know if this is like the first or second one that sold, but remember I was thinking about this the other day when I passed by it, when I was pulling another item. I was like, oh, that one hasn't sold in a while, and then I thought it into existence. So these together was $14.30. Sorry, I had to do some quick math there. All right. Next up is going to be a Munchkin promo card. Annetta was telling me, she's like, oh, we haven't sold them in a while. Maybe it's not as popular. And then we sold another one. We got a bunch of these Munchkin promo cards. This one's a level 10 foot soldier. So it's just literally a soldier as a foot. Munchkin's like this satirical card game where you're trying to get your Munchkin character to level 10. And then you bust down door cards like this. You'll fight monsters. And then there's also a treasure deck. And then you can also politically and verbally with each other negotiate who's going to help you and what other like negative effects you can do on players to try to boost yourself and maybe allies. So it's just like this like a game, quick playing game, kind of like almost like a party card game with some rules, and people like it. It's like fantasy themed. Well, I guess they have a bunch of different themes. People like to get extra promo cards and stuff to add to their collection. It's modular, so you can kind of just like throw in these cards into your collection or your game, and then you're good to go. $6.29. I had another one, so I already relisted it. All right, moving on, we have Divinity PC game. I don't know if it's related to the Divinity games series, like Original Sin and stuff like that. I haven't played them. I know that they did a new trailer for one of the new Divinity games that people were excited about. But yeah, just Divine Divinity right here just says that you can craft your own like action RPG. Haven't played this one, but yeah, someone picked it up. Like I said, I don't know if it's related. This ended up going for $9.09. I'll still pick up the PC games. It doesn't have to be something that's like being talked about now. I know people eventually go back and like to appreciate the old ones. All right, next up is going to be 5 Star Wars. They're like plushy beanie babies, not beanie babies, but they're like, yeah, plushies, but they're like kind of like bean ones. You got C-3PO, the abominable snowman from I think like Hoth or whatever, that like intro of that one movie. You got it's not the Wookiee. I forget what these guys are called. The little scavengers that are, and then the Wookiee, and then I forget this guy. He's like in the bar. I forget his official name. I only saw the Star Wars movies one time. It was like that was like over 10 years ago. I watched them with my brother. 2 days, over 2 days, we watched them in a row. So watching that many movies, you can only absorb so much within, like, because it's just a lot of sitting and watching and eating snacks. It was a good time though. We also did that for the Lord of the Rings extended edition, so that was a lot of fun. But $23.81. I thought Star Wars was okay. I know a lot of people love it. A lot of Gen X really loves it. But yeah, I didn't think it was bad. It was just like okay. And like I said, I just watched them all. So I don't have all of the characters and stuff memorized. All right. Next up is going to be the Life Aquatic Studio music CD. Don't know too much about this one, but I got a bunch of CDs, car full with Aneta for like $75. Good time, good memories for us. Probably one of our best like overarching bulk buy. We've done some pretty good bulk buys, but the fact that this is still stuff like this is still selling to this day, sometimes every other day, sometimes twice a week, sometimes every day, that will like sell within a month, 1 or 2 CDs. And then we listed all of this literally in like 2021 or something. So yeah, upfronted all the work and it's still been paying out. And then people are appreciating the music CDs. We always think that the CDs and stuff are actually going to be more popular as streaming services are stripping away people's ability to access different, like, you know, movies, shows, music. People are going to go like, oh, you can just get the CD, then you have it forever until the CD breaks. $14 for this one. So that's actually pretty good for a CD, $14. Normally, like, even if I got like $5 or $6 for most of these, that's pretty good. It was a bunch of them. All right. I know I always talk about it, but sometimes there's new people that watch. So, all right, next up is going to be this Choose Your Own Adventure. It's like a Solve It book. So there's going to be a little bit of mystery. The Bites Brothers for the computer bites, and then Record a Wrongdoing. Got a bunch of these Choose Your Own Adventure books. A lot of them I had never known about. A lot of them were also from the UK, so maybe that's why I never seen them here. And that's why they sell pretty well when I list them. People don't, if they want to purchase them within America, they can pay less for shipping. But yeah, they don't have to pay like the extra stuff for the international program. $17.49 for this one. There's still another couple hundred that we were maybe going to keep that we might go through and sell some more of them. So yeah, those are a lot of fun too. All right, next up, completely forgot I got this one. I remember I got like the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, like a special collector's edition book. I think we sold for $100 or $200. This is going to be a Hobbit. I got this from the buddy that had the, I don't know where I put it, the manga stuff, so the Relax Time product. So I picked this up from him like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's been a while. It took a while to sell. Really cool, like hardcover, really good condition. This ended up going for $41.99. So yeah, people like to collect the different types of Lord of the Rings books. I didn't realize that there was like super fancy ones until he sold me his at the time. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was a thing. It makes sense that it's a thing. I just had never seen it. You know, sometimes you just don't know something if it's not in front of you, or you never searched out the information and you never came across it. All right, moving along, we have Star Wars for the, is it Legion? Not Legion. It is Legion. I guess it's Legion. I thought it was the other board game. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Imperial Assault. I thought it was Imperial Assault. Where did I put this? I am all over the place. Like I said, I am cooked. Where is it? All right, I can't find it right now. It's probably in front of me, but it's going to be the Boba Fett expansion. Star Wars Legion is going to be a miniatures game by Fantasy Flight Games. It wasn't too popular when it came out, and I think another fan group or company has access to it right now. It was a little questionable when I was like looking it up, like where exactly it lands right now, but people still buy the stuff. It's just going to be expansion character, and the only thing that's missing is just a miniature. You can obviously use a sub-in. There's like the old Star Wars miniature games. You can use a bead. You can use a miniature from your collection from a board game or something. But yeah, it has all the tokens, all the cards. It just is missing the miniatures for $6.99. I'll find that when I find that, I guess, when we're packing. All right, next up is going to be the Scooby-Doo card game right here. So some playing cards with the card game right here. So this is pretty cool. People love Scooby-Doo. Got a bunch of characters. It's just a playing card deck. I wish this one sold for more. This is like the Cartoon Network Scooby-Doo. But yeah, this ended up going for $6.80. Everyone loves Scooby-Doo. Oh, here's the Star Wars thing. It was under Scooby-Doo. Here's the little expansion without the miniature. The Boba Fett expansion even says down here, proof of purchase, that this is the Boba Fett operative expansion, tokens, cards. That's sometimes these expansions or these little miniature things are just like, it's just a couple cards and some tokens, and sometimes they can still be expensive because there's not that many out there and they didn't like make enough, and then it happens to be a good miniature or expansion to play within a board game. Like, it's fun for people. All right, last up for the day is going to be from that World of Warcraft trading card game auction haul I bought. Super lucky. So this one, Black Temple raid deck. I want to say there's like 5 or 6 raid decks. I was only aware of 2 or 3. I was only aware of 2. I remember there was the Nixia that I'd run across a lot, and then the like Molten Core. I almost said Core Keeper. That's a video game though. Molten Core. This is the Black Temple raid. Yeah, this one's still sealed. It just had like a little sticker that like the old shop had on there, and then like someone must have peeled it off. If there was an old sticker here from the shop, I would not peel it off because I think this looks uglier than a shop sticker, if that makes sense. I'd rather it say like, you know, like a yellow sticker that says $5 clearance or something, because I don't like the, I don't know, I guess it really depends on, I haven't gotten feedback one way or the other from people. I just feel like the rip looks a little bit more janky. $139.99 for this one. So I spent up on this auction. I think we're definitely in the profit now, and I still have a lot more to go. I've been holding up a little bit more on it. I've been less charitable with offers on that stuff because people are going kind of like too low, and I want to get like a good amount of money for that auction because I risked a lot at the time. You know, it was like $440, which is a big deal for us. Like we're not above $440. That's a lot of money to gamble on stuff. I mean, I knew eventually this stuff would sell. It's cool. I have my own little World of Warcraft trading card game collection. I have the like dungeon decks, the full set of 3. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below. Have a good weekend.